issues with the way we clap.
Yeah.
Let us give them a wonderful hand clap, ladies and gentlemen. And when you're clapping, you look at your neighbor and swear that they're clapping as well. And you see the kind of neighbor sitting next to you. The neighbor who doesn't clap can easily give you poison.
Give them
so,
as
let us give the children a very big hand clap as you look at your neighbor. Ladies and gentlemen, I am grateful and exceedingly humbled. 3 minutes because my senior.
Thank you very much. The program director, the guest of honor, none other than the Honorable Minister of State for Education Primary, the chairperson, Board Nira, the representative of the Minister of Health, the chairperson of the Association of the District, City and Municipal Education Officers. Ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time, allow me to observe protocol as laid down. I'm extremely honored to stand before you to make a few remarks. Before I do that, allow me to invite two persons. One, the head teacher of Buganda Road Primary School. Please walk forward. And the second person is the director, Colgate Company. I want to believe is very close here. He's going to say just one or two words. So, my brother Juko, please take 1 minute to say what you have to say.
Our chief guest, all protocol observed, I'd like us to reflect on to the beginning of music, dance, drama festivals in the 1970s during the time of the late Mr. Kakuditi Bukulu. Now when I mention this name, there could be few people that can remember this great general. Music was more of church music, but when it was made a national event, and he included instrumental compositions and traditional folk songs, the type of music took a turn. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to remind you about our music generals who have fallen. These were generals that were never led by lead cars. They didn't have stars on their shoulders, and they did not have special uniforms. That's the reason why you may remember them or not. Ladies and gentlemen, you will remember that we had a gentleman by the name of Mr. Malikowa Herbert. He was a great music trainer. If you went to your school, you would be sure your school would be number one. He did this at Namugongo Girls. He went to St. Chizito in the north. He went to Chibiri, and he went to Chiwiye Primary School, and all those schools were coming out number one because of that gentleman. He's not here. He's dead. You also will remember the late Mr. Warugembe Joseph. He was also the director of the National Theatre. Now in 1989, when they introduced creative dances, but then it was dance drama, all the trainers were worried. They could not believe a dance would tell a story. And he taught us the stories you see now on stage. unfortunately, he's not with us now. There's also the late Dr. Kayanja Francis. He was in Budo Junior School, but went to Chibiri and promoted music in Uganda. We had to kneel down before him and told him, please, doctor, you need to stop coming to the festivals, because when you come, nobody wins. And he said yes. Now, such a gentleman, he had been promoted to be head teacher of Makai Natete, and we lost him through COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, we had Omunyoro Kapiata Chinyolo voice. Some of you may not remember this gentleman, but we remember him very well. He knew music and he loved it. He could conduct the Western pieces and he would like it. He would dress as if he was at a wedding party when it is MDD festival. We lost him last year. What about the late Mr. Surua Stephen Katambula? This gentleman taught most of us music. He was at Makerere College School, and Makerere College School was known to be a very musical school. If he sat at the table to adjudicate, you would be worried, because he had such sharp ears that would hear every mistake, but also every good thing, and such sharp eyes that would see everything you do on stage, both the good and the bad. And if he gave you a mark, nobody would ever doubt him. He is not here. He died. There was the late Mr. Kakande John. He was head teacher, but was also music trainer. He was very good at instrumental and also African folk songs. We also had the late Mr. Tambi Elijah. He composed a lot of music pieces that were used for festivals. He was a wonderful player of the piano. We also remember the late Mr. Kefas Sentogo. Very good at poetry, very good at traditional songs. He also did a lot of drama on radio. Those who are listening to these pieces of drama on radio, that's the gentleman who was talking, who was called Kagondo. You don't remember him. He was great. And the late Salongo Chisa Christopher. He was a trainer of teachers in Chambogo, ITEC. I remember one thing: if you got a key of a traditional folk song using a Western instrument, you would pay greatly. He wanted you to do it via the African instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask you to rise and observe just a moment of... Yes, I've been also reminded about Professor Mbabi Katana. You remember the traditional folk songs we have in many of our books in music. They were written by this late gentleman. Yes. Can you imagine? Let us rise, ladies and gentlemen, and observe only one moment of silence to remember them. They did a good job for this country. May their souls rest in eternal peace. You may get seated again. And quickly, I'll tell you about these. These are still living.